What's up, y'all? It's Deshaun, and I'm back with more Destiny Spell discussions. Right now, I just want to set out the whole game plan for y'all. The whole complete Destiny Spell timeline where every story takes place. From movies, TV shows, whatever you want to make. This is it. Destiny Spell universe. First, we're going to start off with the movie trilogies which shapes the Destiny Spells universe. The first movie is Destiny Spell Origins, where the three dimensions take place. Time doesn't exist in zero dimension. And in dimension one, time is only a 7-day theory, which each day equals 100 Earth years. The same thing happens on the second dimension. And on dimension 3, we go by the mortal years. The story of Destiny Spell Origins take place between the year 2100 BD and 1400 BD, before Destiny. Destiny Spell, War of the Gods, is the second movie in the trilogy. Time appears to be the same way in Dimension Zero. Our story takes place from here, between the year 1400 BD and 700 BD, in Dimension 1, Dimension 2, and Dimension 3. We take a spin to a side story of face-on journeys between Destiny Spells 2 and Destiny Spells 3. Destiny Spell, Endgame, is the final movie of the trilogy, wrapping up the Destiny Spell. The highest one still remains in Dimension Zero, where time doesn't exist. The Angel story takes place in Dimension 1, 2, and 3, still following a 7-day theory of time. These stories take place between the year 700 and 720 AD. At the latter end of Destiny Spells 3, Destiny Spells Stories, Phazon's Journey 2 takes place. Here we go to the next story, set in the Destiny Spell universe, which consists of Wardor, the son of King Daniel Sharif, which is the son of Phazon. He will be the grandson of Phazon. His story takes place over a consistent 7 seasons, or it can be written into 7 different movies, or comprised into smaller versions of them. His story takes place from 720 AD to 735 AD, after Destiny. After living his life, Wardor vanished. He was taken to Dimension 3, the Time Realm. He will be training with the General Tab, the General of Universe 3. Here, he would learn how to manipulate time and space as he trained for the future. After the time skip, Wardor was sent on another mission, this time to the 1600s. A man named Niccolo Ricci discovered the Destiny Spell item, the demonic lamp. On his lamp, he made 3 wishes. One of his wishes was to gain powers of a Cellulon. His second wish was for wealth and treasures beyond his wildest imagination. This is how he obtained Phazon's treasure. His third wish was to stop Cellulons from being born for the next 300 years. After this wish was made, he made a pact with the genie in exchange for his soul for these wishes. After 2 years, Niccolo was gone, and the treasure was vacant. He had became the genie and set the genie free. The savage Axeman was now reborn in a new time, the year of the Vikings and pirates. He would become the Savage at Sea. This story takes place over 5 seasons, as the first 2 is the search for Fazan's treasure. After, Wardor must take on the forces of evil living in this time. He was taken back to the time realm after completing his mission. After training with Tao and learning how to use time manipulation, Wardor will use time to receive his youth. After training with Tao, he was sent on his next mission. Being brought to a time in the early 1900s, Wardor would become a soldier, the Savage Soldier. This story can be wrapped up in 2 seasons or 1 movie, or 2 movies depending on how you want to stretch it. The war would last 4 years. Wardor and his troops would come out on top. After completing his mission and defeating the Scarlet Soldier, Wardor would return to Universe 3. Throne would now train Wardor to become an official timekeeper. He will remain in Universe 3 training until his next mission was ahead. For 300 years, Niccolo's wish stayed in place, and no Saiyans was born until the year 1951, with the birth of the first Saiyans. During this time, crime and collusion was all over the place. A special agent by the name of Smash Jones took on these threats, international and even universal. This could be wrapped up in 3 seasons or 3 movies, but it's more of a comical spoof parody of the spy movies, more comedy than action. Smash Jones' career spans from 1952 to 1964. 12 years of stopping crime. After Smash Jones retires, the news of this gets out and leads to a whole outburst of new crime and new criminals, including Saiyans. This is when we take on the first season of the Saiyan Files. The Saiyan Files doesn't follow one specific story, but an accumulation of crime stories, which all leads up to one big plot. Some of the crime bosses make their way back, and of course the puppeteer does return. But our story also follows Dr. Roger Goldman and Dr. Mary Robinson. Smash Jones also make an appearance during this time. And the Alfredo family find their rise to power. During his first season, Dr. Mary Robinson, children are discovered to be Saiyans. She decides to hide this, but instead, they take it on their own personas and become detectives, aiding in the crime against Saiyans. They become the Kids on the Case, which is a spin-off miniseries featuring these two, who will become prominent in the future. We're in the 1970s, the Silver Age. Without spoiling too much about season 2, the introduction of the kids on the case only brings in more Ceylons and a connection with the criminals. We get deep into the conspiracy with this one and focus a lot more on Move Man. The kids on the case season spins off and focus on dealing with the disappearance of their mother, Dr. Maria Robinson, and also fighting crime as the two teens deal with puberty and their emotions. The ending of Kids on the Case introduced them to their new lives as a new hero takes on the mantle. Mercury Moon, an ex-astronaut who gets his powers in space. Ceylon Files Season 3 focus more on the criminal Ceylons as they take power away from the human crime bosses. Mercury Moon Season 2 introduces his battle with Move Man and also taking on the universal threats of the world. As Cyray, the ex-partner of Weather Girl from Kids on the Cases, becomes a supervillain. He changes his name from Cyray to Death Ray and takes on a whole life of crime. Here, using his psychic powers, we get into the mind of the Psycho. This short series is only to introduce the struggle that Ray goes through from turning a hero into a villain and dealing with the powers he now has as he taking on the Blood Cloak's mask. The 1980s, the Golden Age. Season 4 of the Ceylon Files shows how the Ceylons take over the crime syndicate and also introduce more of Move Man's story. Season 3 of Mercury Moon. Season 3 of Mercury Moon takes us back to his battle with Move Man and also introduces the Space Wave Patrol. Cyray, also known as Death Ray, uses the power of the Blood Cloak and changes his whole persona into something that should be feared. The Red Cloak. Now being a powerful villain, he was now taking over this crime syndicate. Also, during the Ceylon Files, we see the discovery and the creation of HAP, H-A-P, an anti-Ceylon group who focuses on the life of humans, animals, and plants only. Maria decided to not be the Weather Girl anymore. She wanted a normal life. She went on to college to become a meteorologist. There, she met a couple friends with powers just like hers and were victims of HAP. This is where they banded together to become the supergroup, the Element Team, all possessing powers of the elements to fight for Ceylon rights. Season 5 of Ceylon Files take us into the inner workings of how the APD, the Astrotopolis Police Department, and Steel Tech takes on the threat of Ceylon and also introduce the threat of Ceylons as they rise to power in the criminal world. Season 4 of Mercury Moon introduces the struggle of dealing with the Mercury Moon pieces which plague his body. Season 2 of the Red Cloak takes us in his path of destruction as he tries to take over everything and destroy anybody in his way. Season 2 of the Element Team introduces the ups and downs of dealing with a formed group when everybody have different opinions of how things should go. They still band together to fight for their cause. Wardor, the Savage Axeman, is born again and returned thanks to Throne for one specific purpose: Nagunda has returned. Season 6 of Ceylan Files shows how everybody meets their maker, and everything must come to an end. Steeltech Incorporated infiltrates the Astrotopolis Police Department and find their way as the leader in law enforcement. Season 3 of The Red Cloak shows how too much power can be a bad thing. As Ray, powerful psychic mind, fuses with the Red Cloak, they become one. Season 3 of The Element Team shows how this team can also struggle internally while fighting the world. Things change for the better and for the worse. Season 6 of Ceylan Files wraps up this whole show, showing how the conspiracy was set up from the beginning and how Steeltech took over the whole country.